Hello, this is Mark from the Path of Zen. I want to do a little talk, um, more or less pondering the question of are we in a hell realm? And I know that a lot of people ponder this question, mostly because the situations and the kind of environment that people find themselves in kind of brings up, is this hell? What's going on here? So I'm gonna bring up a video of a Zen practitioner that I was watching, and I want to talk about what he is saying. So I'm gonna bring up the. Okay, so this is the video, and it's from David Parrish, Parrish. And his video is called Are We Born into a Hell Realm? So I'm just going to play a few seconds of his video, mostly to avoid any copyright strikes. But we're going to talk about his statement.
You were born into a world that was already going, and the way the world was going could be accurately described as a hell realm.
So I've heard this a number of times that the reason the why things are so bad is because we are born into a hell realm. The reason why things are the way they are is because it's the environment. And which is an interesting concept because I'm sure a lot of you see this immediately as blame. You're blaming an external force that is beyond your own control as to the reasons of your suffering. Now, any good student of Buddhism and Zen will realize that that's a fallacy. That is not something that Zen students are taught to do, nor is it something that Buddhists do. We don't blame external sources for our suffering. We don't say, that guy did it, or they did it, or it was that thing over there that did it. We look at it as the suffering is with ourselves. And it's sort of the old story of the buck stops here. We don't kick it down the road. We don't kick it to the next person. We don't kick it to the Roshi. We don't kick it to the priest. We don't kick it to somebody else. We deal with our own suffering. And in fact, if you really want to get into what is the position of the bhikkhu, which is a Buddhist monk, and the answer is to suffer, to really know one's suffering, and to own it. It's not enough to just say that I suffer. It's enough to say that I own my own suffering and that I will end it. So I kind of, when I hear videos like that or people saying things, and you hear it in all kinds of ways. It used to be, oh, it's the Trilateral Commission that's causing our problems. Oh, it's the Federal Reserve that's causing all of our problems. Oh, it's this political party or that political party. Oh, it's that president or this president over here. It's the big guy or the small guy, or or even it's other countries. It's some far off country that none of us can do anything about, and they claim that that is the cause of all of our problems. So it is an interesting aspect, I think, of human nature to immediately blame, to say, hey, that was not me, I didn't do that, somebody else did it to me, and I'm the victim. Have pity on me. Woe is me. And that's what it is. You're creating a pity party for yourself when you speak like that. And when you tell people, well, it's not my fault, I wasn't the one that did that, I'm just the poor victim here suffering. Wah, 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 let's have a pity party for myself now. Let everybody feel sorry for me. That's what ends up happening. And you see this all the time in spiritual centers. I get emails from time to time of people telling me that this is a nonstop issue at their particular Dharma center or at their Zen club or wherever it is that they go, that people just whine about how hard they have it, or they complain about certain people, or they cry out that they're not being treated fair, that they're being oppressed, that they are being excluded. And so they want a pity party, and they want everybody in the room to give them a pity party. And if you don't give them a pity party, guess what? Now they say, you see? That person over there, that's my problem. That's what happens. And it's become so infectious that it's invaded the workplaces, it's invaded the schools, it's invaded just about every aspect of civic life of these people that want to have a pity party for themselves. And then if you don't go along with it, they get everybody mad at you because they say, well, if you're not going to join my pity party, then you must be a Nazi. You must be a horrible person. And when you tell them that is not the case is that just as much as I own my own suffering, you own your suffering. And it is not my place to cure your suffering or to deal with your suffering because I deal with my suffering. That is my job. I cannot do your job because I simply can't. The Buddha, in many of the sutras and suttas, says many times that he cannot cure the karma of other people. That is their job. That he cannot take away their bad karma, which would be, yeah, you got it, bad stuff happening to them or whatever it is, the fate of life. He can't change that. There's no magic wand. No Roshi, no Zen center, no Zen teacher can do any of that stuff. I don't care how many times that you pray at a Buddha statue or many prostrations you make or offerings or chant the name of the Buddha. None of that's going to change any of your karma. None of that is going to dispel the suffering that you have within you. Only you, by following the Noble Eightfold Path and embracing the Four Noble Truths, is the way that you can actually do something with that suffering. And if you followed any of my past videos, you will notice that there's nothing in the Four Noble Truths or the Eightfold Path that blames somebody else for your problems and suffering. Not one word about that. So if it's not in the Buddhist canon to go blame other people, then don't do that. So are we in a hell realm? No, we're in a human world. And a human world has human things, which is suffering. We go from states of bliss to states of suffering. We go up and we go down. If you were born into a hell realm, you would be a hell being. You would know nothing but suffering. There would be no break from it. If you were born into a God realm, you would know nothing but bliss. There would be no other, you would be a God and you would have no concept of suffering. But we're here in the human realm. We know both. And knowing both actually is the perfect place to be, because your suffering gives you the opportunity to transcend yourself, to transcend the humanness, to transcend it, to emancipate and to end it, to end the cycle of rebirth, to get off the wheel, so to speak. And that is why your birth in this realm, in this time and place, with the suffering that you have, is the most precious gift that you can ever have. You could have been on the wheel for 1,000,000 billion lifetimes, and just now reborn as a human. Don't squander your time complaining and whining. Use this opportunity to emancipate yourself from your own suffering and get off the wheel of rebirth. Become a Buddha. Save sentient beings. Get out there and do what needs to be done. Do the hard work. This is your opportunity. It may not come around for a very long time, and I really mean it. Being born as a human being in this place and this time, with all of this crap that's happening to everybody, is the most precious thing that you can ever ask for. And you should be thankful every day that you are here, that you have the opportunity to practice this thing that we call Zen and practice Buddhism, and to learn and to relinquish the suffering by owning it and by understanding what it is, by embracing the Four Noble Truths and engaging the Eightfold Path. That is the most precious gift ever. All right, thank you very much for listening to me. I know it kind of turned into a little bit of a rant, but it's something that I have been seeing quite a bit on the internet and in various videos. And I felt that I just needed to say something about it.